Welcome to the Health Hour of the Home and Health Show here on WMUZ 1035 The Light. This morning, we welcome Julie Lamphere and Dave Sanders from Brain Life Center. Now, here's your host, Mike McIntyre.
Good morning, WMUZ 1035 The Light, Detroit Made, Bible Strong. Thank you for being here on the Home and Health Show. I am Mac. Hope you're having a terrific start to your Saturday, and I always appreciate your time to this particular program, giving us an opportunity to bring in some of our local business friends and radio partners and supporters of this particular program. The idea is to educate, the idea is to enlighten, and the idea is to get you down the road feeling healthier about certain aspects of your life. And we have two of the best with us right now, David and Julie, brother and sister team from Brain Life Center, joining us on this Saturday morning. Hello, my friends.
Hello, Mac. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I like that brother and sister team.
The brother and sister duo. What can people do in general? I mean, the brain wants to improve itself, right? What can people do to challenge their brain even through the day? Are there little things that you can do to kind of rewire what's going on?
Well, I can tell you this. As Christians, what Julie just touched on, stillness and prayer, it's funny to me as neuroscience has taken off and they have all these tools and technologies to measure brain activity like never before. It's funny how sometimes science will catch up to what we really knew was good for the brain, right?
Right.
And that is prayer and stillness. Mm-hmm. If somebody can just commit to a daily prayer and stillness program, there's a lot of neuroscience behind the fact that this is extremely good for improving overall function. So these spikes of activity that we see, really quality prayer and stillness helps to maintain a positive trend line into the future where those spikes will slowly dissipate.
What about if somebody wanted to take the challenge of maybe, I don't know, playing an instrument, learning piano, learning guitar? Can that help in the process of kind of taking your brain in a different direction?
Yeah, we know now that there's a lot of plasticity with the brain, and that's pretty newly discovered, which is pretty crazy. I mean, we know very little about the brain. But these kind of things, even brushing your teeth with your right-handed, brush them with your left
do the switch
hand,
up.
Doing Sudoku puzzles, anything you can do to challenge your brain, work that brain, do something unique and different that you haven't done before is a really good way of exercising
good
the
stimulant
brain.
For the brain.
Yes.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, we work with the elderly a lot, and they'll often come in because they're concerned about memory issues and sometimes even motor skills. Our mom, she's in her 80s, and she went through this tremendous impact on helping her just clear the mind, a little, improve the memory that she's kind of feeling is slipping. It even gives her a little more confidence. I think we've shared this with you, but after she went through a set of intensive sessions, she said her golf game in her 80s, she was shooting the best golf of her life. So it's interesting how it all kind of interrelates,
Yeah.
It's a great story, guys. And we'd like to continue for you to have great stories to tell your family and your friends. And you have that opportunity right now, guys, to make a turn in your life for the positive, for your health, for your sleep, for your anxiety level, for your feeling of hopelessness. This is, listen, I went through this, guys. I've been down this road and went through what David and Julie have to offer, and it is a life changer. It's a clarity. For me, it was a big deal. Make that call right now, okay? Because they've got folks back at the office in Auburn Hills that will get you on the books for your assessment appointment at this moment. So we're not going to be bummed out if you make that call right now. It would be great. 248-922-9490. We're coming back with more. The Home and Health Show, WMUZ 1035 The Light.
We'll be right back with Mac, Julie Lamphere, and Dave Sanders from Brain Life Center on the Home and Health Show here on WMUZ 1035 The Light. Detroit made, Bible strong. Now we return with Mac, Julie Lamphere, and Dave Sanders from Brain Life Center on the Home and Health Show here on WMUZ 1035 The Light. Detroit made, Bible strong.
Thanks for coming back to the Home and Health Show. I am Mac. I happen to be your host here on WMUZ from 4 to 7 during the week, and I get the privilege of coming in here on Saturday and doing the Home and Health Show, talking to great people who are doing great things for you and making friends with some terrific people that have devoted their lives to their craft, have devoted their lives to the technology, to the changes that take place in their business. And it all comes down to one thing for me, especially with Dave and Julie and the Brain Life Center, is their passion and their desire about your work and about how you're affecting the community and your business model and your employees and the way you handle yourselves in a public forum like this. So I know you guys are on fire for this stuff.
We love it.
I want to just share, as I'm sitting here thinking about my passion, one of the things I'm very passionate about is I'm a grandma now for the third time.
Yeah, congratulations.
And my son, Sean, I just spent quite a bit of time with him this week. She's 1 week old, our new little grandbaby, Rory.
Congrats.
Thank you. And to see my son now, about to turn 30 years old, with his career successful, with this beautiful woman, his wife, and their relationship and their family. And I think back to how he was introduced to this technology in a really rough place.
Tell the story, because, there's always people that are new to this program, and people may be hearing you for the first time and may not have any idea of your son's background. So give us an insight on that and what led you to doing what you do.
Well, when he was 19 years old, actually when he was very young, I was told that he had ADD from a teacher and that she really couldn't teach him all that he was ready to learn because of the time requirement. So I actually homeschooled Sean and all my kids, but he had ADD for sure. I saw all the distractions and all the difficulties, but he made it through, and he pushed through all the way through into college, but he failed in college. He couldn't get through college, and it was very frustrating for him. And so we were at a point where we just didn't know what we were going to do with Sean. He was home. He was not motivated. He was kind of down.
Yeah.
He was procrastinating. He was stuck. But we knew we couldn't let him stay in the home because he would never become a man, right?
Right, exactly.
That was the time that I was introduced to this technology, and he was the first person I saw go through this.
Wow.
And it totally changed his life. Within a year, he got himself back into school. He got himself a car. He just started to move forward in life. It was so amazing and beautiful to watch. The entire trajectory of his life changed. And now he's 30 years old. He graduated from college. He has been promoted several times at his job and has this beautiful life. And I got to wonder what life would have been like had we not found this technology.
I was just going to say that. I wonder how much better his life could have been, and if some of the symptoms that Julie's describing that her son had, if you have somebody of that age in your house, a son or a daughter, get on that right now. I mean, because if he could have had that at 8 or 9 years old, imagine.
Oh my gosh!
God has a plan for everybody. I truly believe that, and I think in your son's instance, it was to be an example of what this technology can do, and to go out into the world and be able to tell people what this is about. But for a lot of people, they need relief right now, and there's no reason to go through life and struggle and be heartbroken by the struggles that your child is going through.
And a lot of these young people, they're finding help, but they're finding it in the wrong places. They're self-medicating and they're getting involved in things that are not helping them. But it's giving them a temporary relief, right?
Yeah.
So if we can get a hold of them before they take that path, wow.
It's amazing how many young men end up going to marijuana. They get immediate gratification as far as sort of bringing down the anxiety.
Yeah,
sometimes for the hyperactive, they'll be like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. But of course, there's the primary and the secondary effect. They get great results in the primary. It wears off, and it actually can exacerbate the problem after the fact. And then they end up increasing dose. And over time, they're having, it's morning, noon, and night. They're doing it at work. They're doing it at the gym. It can be a real problem. And
I've seen it happen with friends of mine, over the years that were casual smokers that then became, for some of the same reasons we're talking about.
Right.
I just need a little puff before I go to bed.
Yeah.
It just levels me off a little bit. And it goes from, a joint to, 3 joints a day, then it goes to 5 joints, and it goes to a half ounce of dope, and then it goes to, all these ramifications, and 20 years later, it's wheezing and burned out,
anxiety,
and just
depression,
and everything compounds.
An empty life.
It comes back because then...
Very slowly, too.
Right.
It's kind of insidious that way.
It just creeps up on you, and suddenly you're 50 years old, and you realize that you're just burnt out.
And you never resolved those issues that you really should have resolved many years ago.
Never got taken care of. You're absolutely right. I mean,
and
you're nailing it.
We have a real long-term solution that has no side effects at all. It's the brain doing what it was designed to do. It's so beautiful.
That's the interesting thing is and part of this education on this program is hopefully the people will respond and understand that the brain can and will heal itself. Just because we can't see it, like we can see a cut healing, doesn't mean that it's just in there thinking and telling you when to eat and when to blink. And, it is constantly evolving and revolving.
Yeah. It's been 10 years, right? And so we've had the opportunity of working with thousands of people. One of the best parts of it is you'll meet somebody and they're struggling with a series of issues. Let's say it's sleep, and maybe it's anxiety. Maybe it's, like you said, hopelessness. They just don't have motivation.
Yeah.
They're not feeling energy to get up and do anything. So you meet them and you learn all about their situation. Then we customize a program for them, right? Mm-hmm. And every program, it's very unique. It's similar if you step in front of the mirror and somebody else steps in front of the mirror. It's a completely different experience, right?
Absolutely.
And yet that mirror remains the same. And then, of course, we're building a customized program around that. There's so many great tools that they're discovering are really helpful through neuroscience that you can take home with you and just it becomes part of your life.
Part of your daily routine.
Yeah. We've had a lot of young people who are in college and they've gone through this. And so they're on the other side. And we'll see them maybe 3 months later, and they'll come in and do a single session before finals week. And they feel so much sharper.
Yeah.
And what a difference that makes, especially for somebody who really deals with that test anxiety and that stress.
I think a lot of kids deal with it too, because the schools are so set up now for testing for these kids with their MAP tests and MEEP tests, or and I know my kids.
A lot riding on it.
My kids get tight about it. Now, in some instances it doesn't affect their grade, but they know that there's something you're not getting tested for nothing. So somebody down the line, it's important to them in one way, and it starts so early, and maybe some of this stuff is being built up in society we're taking on our shoulders. We don't know how to express it. And all this, our brain just says, not today, you know?
So much pressure for these young people.
But it's great to know that there is something out there that can take that away. Because I'll tell you, man, my life could have been a lot different if I wasn't stuck in some of those roadblocks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. And
you don't know there's a solution out there.
Right. You don't know there's a solution. Wow. Always a great conversation with you guys. I'm telling you, man, I hope you folks out here will get on the telephones today, because I would think the majority of us out here, or someone that we love in our family, is going through exactly what we're talking about today. So go to Brain Life Center. It's 248-922-9490, University Drive in Auburn Hills. They have a beautiful building there. They've got their great associates and co-workers on site today to take your phone calls. So why don't you call and get something set up? We're going to come back in just a moment, and we'll wrap things up with Dave and Julie in Brain Life Center next. WMUZ 103.5 The Light.
We'll be right back with Mac, Julie Lamphere, and Dave Sanders from Brain Life Center on the Home and Health Show here on WMUZ 103.5 The Light. Detroit made, Bible strong.
Oh my gosh, Christopher was a handful. At home, he was hard to live with. At school, they just sent him to the principal's office. He was searching for acceptance. He didn't get it, so he would lash out. I'm his mom. What I saw was a little boy in pain. We really went to the Brain Life Center because I didn't want Christopher on meds. We talked to Julie and David, did the program, and it was the best decision we ever made for him. Now he joins in. Other kids like him because he's actually fun to be around. His grades are better now because he's doing his work. He's happy, and we're so happy for him too.
Kids with behavioral issues get better at the Brain Life Center. Call the Brain Life Center at 248-922-9490. That's 248-922-9490.
He's the person I always knew he was on the inside.
248-922-9490.
Now we return with Mac, Julie Lamphere, and Dave Sanders from Brain Life Center on the Home and Health Show here on WMUZ 1035 The Light. Detroit made, Bible strong.
Welcome back to the program. It has been a good one today, man. I'm glad you stuck around for it. We got about 5 minutes left with our friend Dave and Julie. They are the dynamic sister and brother duo from Brain Life Center. They do own that particular facility and are doing tremendous work in our community for everyday folks like you and me, everyday folks that are stressed and tired and hopeless and beat up and don't know where to turn and have concentration issues and have high pressure situations that I think we all have, that we have to be on our toes and executing at 100%. And when you're not, it can have ramifications on your life, your paycheck, your family. There's a million different ways we could take it. But the cool part is that doesn't have to be the case anymore. That's why Brain Life Centers do what they do.
Yeah, I want people to fully understand that if you have a brain,
yes,
and you
for the brain, the brain to experience itself live like it hasn't before in this passive, safe environment, it's so good for brain function. And to not experience your brain at that level is just, it's missing out. I mean, sometimes it's like pulling a veil or opening a door to a sunny day.
Yes.
You know that feeling, right?
Yes, I do.
And so many people, they don't even know that they're in that haze.
Yeah, you live in a partly cloudy to cloudy situation your whole life, and you become so used to it, or you don't know any better, that when those clouds part and the sun comes out, man, I'm telling you, it is... it'll put a lump in your throat.
And what it does for your family, what it
Yes.
does for your coworkers,
Yes.
the people at church. It's like it has ripple effects that are beautiful. And the way that changed, I know for Julie and I, we have had everybody in our family do this.
Right.
Everybody on our team at Brain Life Center has had an opportunity to experience this. And so there's just a level, when people come to our office, there's a warmth and a caring.
Absolutely.
Everybody's like, you're new to this. And they're excited to bring them in and carefully take them through this process.
That's very true.
And they're excited for them.
Let me ask you this before we close things out here in the next couple of minutes. Would you recommend this for a work team? Would you recommend this for a sports team? Would you recommend this for a group that is focused on a major goal that may have a couple of their people in there that are going through what we've talked about, that we can kind of get back on course, but bring the entire team and the team leaders and do it as a small group, so to speak?
Yeah, that's powerful.
When you just think about what a team is trying to accomplish, and you can remove the obstacles that get in the way of the relationship, the obstacles that get in the way of the creativity, the communication, the sharpness of mind, the focus, the clarity, get all those obstacles out of the way and have all those people working at the higher level, it's game changing.
You know what I want to do, and this is just a fantasy, but I'll just say it out loud. I would love to be able to document a business. It doesn't have to be thousands and thousands of people, but let's say a group of 15, 18 people that are all burnt out, struggling, unfocused, team leaders frustrated. He can't really, or she can't really stay focused on the project because they're being pressured from up above. I would love to see that group come into you guys and start from ground level with the assessment and follow them through on film to whenever the process ended, and they go back and get together as a team unit to see how much that energy changed and
just
how
talk about it.
That would be
we have the resources to do that.
Great
so
documentation.
I'm just going to throw this out if Dave approves. If there's a team
that would be
listening
terrific.
that is interested in doing that,
We would
will
take
work
them
out
through
some
that.
discounts. We'll We'll take them through that, and we'll have that experience.
That would be
call us.
That would be so cool.
Let's do it.
And just to see 15 people just like
get
into work on a Monday going, we just did a blah blah blah. Yeah, man, this is a great place to work. How rewarding would that be?
We've seen this. We've seen this a number of times. We have business owners that have brought in their their teammates and had a number of people do it. And they talk about what a difference. That board meeting or that weekly or monthly meeting, everybody gets together and they're going to figure out what they're going to do. And then they're talking about what they've done. It really changes the whole thing.
Well, let me do this,
It'd
Dave.
be nice to record that, though, and document
we would love to do
I love that
I
idea.
could do all the voiceover work for you.
We've done a lot of people here at WMUZ, but we really haven't documented the before and after. That'd be really great.
Yeah,
start to finish. That would be great.
That would be super cool. So let me put this challenge out for you business leaders that are listening to this program today. If you're interested in doing something like that with your group to stimulate and to move forward with your goals and objectives, man, would you call David and Julie? They'd be happy to take on that project. We may film it. We may turn it into a small documentary. That would be really cool. 248-922-9490. The information that has been passed along today from David and Julie is absolutely amazing. There's hope out there for you. Guys, wrap it up real quick here.
Well, just thank you very much for helping us with this and just getting the word out. That's our mission. And God bless you, brother, for helping us out.
All right, guys.
Please call. Please just pick up the phone.
Always a pleasure, guys. The phone number one more time before we say good afternoon to you, of course, is 248-922-9490. Brain Life Center. Have a great weekend, guys.
Thanks to Julie Lamphere and Dave Sanders from Brain Life Center. Conquer your anxiety, sleeplessness, and lack of energy and gain focus with Brain Life's simple but incredibly effective technology. Make your appointment with them today. Go to WMUZ.com/Home and Health Show for contact information.